There was an article out in the New York Times today where they were talking to Republican lawmakers, specifically some state lawmakers in Georgia and Texas, a former Republican member of the House of Representatives from California, and a few others. And now these Republicans are pushing back a little bit against Donald Trump and saying, hey, we might want to reconsider and push him in a different direction, because if he does everything he wants, it's going to be really bad for our economy. They're saying things like, if Donald Trump repeals what's left of the Inflation Reduction Act and pulls back any unspent funds like he wants to, that would leave factories sitting empty. That the Inflation Reduction Act has spurred growth in things like, batteries and solar panels and all these things, and that now there are good paying jobs and factories producing them, and without the credits associated with the Inflation Reduction Act, they won't be able to keep going because the demand's going to dry up. When there are major tax credits for solar panels, people are more likely to put them on their house. I know somebody who put solar panels on their house because they figured out that by doing it, they wouldn't have to pay taxes for like 3 or 5 years. They would get all of their tax money back for that many years. And they said, well, and if I don't have a power bill on top of it, why wouldn't I consider it? And I kind of agree with them. Things like that. And the former member of the House of Representatives for California was saying, hey, our agriculture out here, we depend on migrant workers, and it's going to grind our economy to a halt, and food production is going to cause costs to go up, everything like that. It's almost like the things we were saying ahead of time are actually true, and now you're hearing pushback from the Republicans themselves. Well, they got what they wanted. They got Donald Trump in, and now that he's in, they're trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube. Hopefully, they're going to be able to succeed, or at least reel him in some. Now, some of the stuff he wants to do is going to take Congress, and I keep saying that, with the thin margins they're going to have in Congress, it's going to be hard to get a lot done, and we just got to survive until the midterms, which is coming in 2026. And yes, we will have midterms because they don't have the votes to change the Constitution to just end elections. So they're coming. But it's almost like we tell these Republicans that, hey, this could hurt us. And this article even talks about how there are whole towns that voted majorly for Trump, and now that they're hearing about the actual implications of what could happen, they got swept up in the bravado, the emotion, whatever you want to call it, or they voted Republican because they've always voted Republican and weren't actually paying attention, and now they're in the find out stage, and now they're scared. I wish some of these lawmakers would have come out and done the right thing and had talked about how bad his policies could have been to their constituents, to their voters, ahead of time, but they were more worried about their side winning. So hopefully it doesn't end up as bad as it could, and I think some of it's not going to happen, but the regret is already setting in, and the regret is very real.